What's up, homies? I'm your host, Emelina Calder. As always, I'm adjusting because YouTube doesn't let you see a preview. It like really, I'm like, come on, let me see it beforehand. Anyway, hello. If you're new to my world, my name is Emelina Calder. I am a cosmic shaman, a psychic medium, an Akashic Records reader, practitioner, healer, life coach, high performance coach, personal branding coach. I am actually very multi-talented. Anyway, if any of that is your vibe and you like personal and spiritual development, make sure to subscribe. Those of you that know me are already vibing with me. Thank you for being here. I'm going to do a weekly update. And as always, the energy themes that are coming up now, whenever you land on this video, time and energy are synonymous. Time isn't like a real thing. Like, yes, we experience it linearly. But whenever you land on this video, the message that is here for you will be received. And as always, as you guys know, my messages come through specific energetic transmissions that you receive through your own source energy connection that help you to rewire your belief systems, parts of your subconscious, bring things, energies that are either collective or within you to your conscious mind to help you heal, shift, and work through them so that you can just massively upgrade, up-level, excel, become the most badass, best version of yourself. One of my friends was like, they were like, that is your language. And they said to me, they were like, you are a badass. And they were like, I would never ever say that to anyone but you. And I was like, thank you. I was like, okay, rad. Anyway, badass isn't that descriptive, but I don't know how else to break it down. I always try to break it down in ways, so I will continue to do so, okay? But it really comes down to, oh my gosh, I love that you're here. And hello to, well, welcome to everyone popping in and coming into the stream whenever you see this. As always, I get distracted because I love you guys when I see the comments. I don't know where I was going. We'll circle back. What I do want to tell you, if you are new to the Akashic Records and want to start learning how to read your own soul blueprint, I have a free training for you, linked in the description below. It's at IMMERSION.com/training. And I also want to let you guys know I have my program, Summer Quantum Breakthrough. It is an immersive one-to-one private coaching program with me where you are both, we're syncing up your conscious mind, doing deep inner child healing. I feel like a significant amount of what I do is loving and nurturing everyone's inner children and helping them to reparent themselves. If you don't know the value of reparenting your inner child, the inner child is, oh, this is looping back, is the access to your highest potential. Your inner child holds the keys to everything that you want and need. I promise. All of your dreams, everything that you don't know to dream yet, that you would want, that would excite you, your inner child has the keys to that. And when your inner child is functioning from an unsafe, wounded space, which we all are, that is no shame to any person. If it does resonate, it's because you're human and because we all go through it. And it's about learning how to work through those mechanics of the inner child, allowing the inner child to feel safe so that your heart will actually expand, open up to your dreams. And your heart is so effing transformatively magnetic. So if you're putting out into the universe things that you want and you're not receiving them per se, or you're receiving them in a sporadic way and not a consistent way, it's because your heart, your inner child, hasn't backed the manifestations. In order for the heart to pulse out, and it is thousands of times more powerful than the mind, that magnetism, you can draw in completely new circumstances, borderline overnight. This is what quantum breakthrough work is, quantum healing work. It's about opening portals from the heart space where the inner child is in a place of trust because you've healed the relationship with your inner child, which is always an ongoing process. And you're listening deeply to that child within yourself who is giving you access to know, with the backing of your mind, of course, what way to go to open up your brand new reality. What's going to change your life instantaneously? That can be an overnight shift, that can be a week, that can be a month, that could be a year, whatever the shifts you're making, they are identity changes. And I actually was going to jump into this as the part of the themes for this week, but I'm talking about it in relationship to the program. It's all one and the same, so I'm just going to talk through it. Those quantum leaps, a lot of people manifest sporadically. or what I call manic manifesting, which I was a pro at for many, many, many years, which is like you can chaotically manifest or manifest in chaos, in crisis rather, or when there's a deep need or when you're highly triggered, but it's hard to like maintain. So I'm saying that because when we do quantum breakthrough work, we're collapsing time, because time is not truly linear. It's truly all available now. I'm going to talk about this in an esoteric way, but the way that I feel through time when I want to do something different and I want to pull out a different facet, the highest version of myself, my highest potential in any moment, and I'm doing this all the time, is I'm using my intuitive sensing abilities to feel, what do I want? Where is that want coming from? Is it coming from a wounded place of love, or is it coming from an expansive divine place of love? And I'm saying love because if you are wanting something that is not from a place of love, it is from a place of fear and will only give you expansion of chaos and nightmares. That may seem small at first. My guides call this white lies. They say to always look for the difference between the what's a truth and what is a lie. And not all lies are loud. Most lies start as white lies, and my guides always tell me to look for the white lies because a white lie is the beginning to a long string of lies, which is negative karma, we could call it. Bad juju. And if you can discern in your heart what you're asking for, what you want, and how you're manifesting from the place of what is a truth, what is rooted in my power, what is rooted from love, and what is a white lie, oh my gosh, give me a white lie. Let me think. I need the money because I need to do this thing because then I'll gain respect in my career. Or because, there's so many, it's conditions, okay? Whatever the condition is, when you're manifesting from a place of conditions, you're only going to create chaos. Again, don't smack yourself upside the head. Like, welcome to being human. We all do this. I do this. We all do this. I'm just very knowledgeable about the process, and I'm constantly coming back to myself, back to my heart, nurturing the inner child, feeling a little bit more safe, asking from the place of love, rejecting the fears, throwing out all negativity from the heart space. Which maybe I'll get into in this stream, the difference between that and the mind. But ultimately, when we're doing quantum breakthrough work, you can create an immediate breakthrough, an immediate manifestation, an immediate idea. You take action, something moves, and it manifests in your reality immediately. But then can you maintain it? And that is the work that we do, the work that I do, the work that I do with all of my clients. And the more consistent my clients are in the practice and showing up specifically with like one-on-one or working with me through longer periods of time, the more of those breakthroughs that we get to work through together to allow the inner child to feel safe manifesting, to feel safe in sustaining a new identity. And let me break down the new identity, because that new identity is the highest version of yourself. And these are the themes of the week, so just roll with me. That new identity is a collection of new patterns of behavior that you are not doing right now. You are not that person. In order to create sustainable change, and that's such a, I don't love the phrase, but I need to say it, like sustainable change. I'm like, it's not sexy at all. Like that belongs in like a corporate newsletter. Like, great sustainable change. But truly, what you guys are looking for, everyone and their mom, everyone I know is manifesting better love, more money, and an expansive lifestyle where they feel like they're of value and of service. And the service is they're receiving lots of connection, lots of intimacy, lots of purpose, lots of value. They feel valuable to their workplace, to their business, to their career, to society. They have a beautiful family that they're cultivating, and deep connections across community. And let me think about where I was going with that. God bless the ability to channel. Like, I have so many aspects of my mind I can tap into, but it also sometimes like shorts out and then I get distracted. It's so real. So that's probably also, that's part of this theme. That's the point, is that when we're chasing our highest potential, and I'm hearing chasing, and I'm also hearing that needs to be rerouted. So what we do when we do this work they're saying we as in all of us, right? And you're at varying levels of it, is we chase our highest potential. And what I'm hearing is the chase is nice, but it's not sustainable because you're constantly chasing after something that's not here now. So the subtle energetic change that I would invite you to either meditate on or feel into sensually, this is like an energy feeling, whenever you see this video, is that your highest potential is activated from within. There is no getting anything or becoming something in the way that you're going after a part of yourself or changing yourself in that way. It's an internal change. They're saying to me it's an internal combustion. It comes from your lower chakras. It's where the heart feels supported in the safety of your personal confidence. Not that this is what they said to me this week. It's not that you have to put anything on. You're not putting on confidence, okay? You're not wearing confidence as a wetsuit. What you're doing is you're activating your authentic states of being, of who you are, how you show up from the place of not looking to beg, borrow, plead, steal, just being present, just being available, just being in service as you are, who you are in any now moment. I may try to break that down more for you guys because these are big energetic packages that I know I'm sending you through that can be chewed on for a while, but it's really about, you're not trying on confidence, you're not wearing confidence, that's the ego. Again, nothing wrong with that ego practice, it's just harder to maintain. This is about, let me think about how to word this. It truly is in your sacral and your solar plexus, all right? It's in your lower chakras. If you don't feel safe with your energy in your lower chakras, and most people don't, then it's going to be difficult to radiate out what is confidence, which is your natural state of being. It's not putting anything on, it is who you are. What happens through life is that we have so many different circumstances that demean our personal value, that demean our personal self-worth, that give us insecurities. There are insecurities in the mind which are slightly different than the insecurities that come out of the lower chakras, the solar plexus. This is an insecurity of energy. So how much of your personal worth can you hold in any moment? And I'm going to try to break that down in a number of ways that will be easier for you guys to understand, like more human. We'll get there. Okay. It has to do with your combustion. It has to do with your power, your internal heat, and your flame. That heat can come across in a number of different ways depending on where you are in your personal growth process. All right, so that heat can be anger. There are many of you, especially women. I know a lot of women in these categories, especially DV victims, which I know I work with a lot of domestic violence women that have experienced it, is that anger, the combustion in the lower chakras gets squelched out because in order to have used that, in order to be powerful in those situations, your life would have been in danger. So, and I know I'm speaking to a lot of women right now that will understand this on this stream, is that if you're not used to having a lot of confidence there, likely you needed to remove your power and become very docile, not because you wanted to and not because it's you, but because it's, I literally just I'm seeing lights come in, like lights that don't exist. Like I told you guys, in my last stream, I've been seeing frequency and it just like shot right in. I just saw the light come in, physically, but I'm sure you didn't see a change on stream anyway. So I know it's a confirmation. But it's like, if you think you're actually, give me some words, Spirit. Some better words? Sweet, but not from the place of a loving sweet. It's like from the place of a needing to be sweet because you're afraid that if you're saucy, if you're spicy, if you say anything that might upset someone, that your life is in danger. That's the sort of breakdown that's one of the things, one of the energy themes that's coming through so loudly in this chakra area for many women, is that reclaiming your power is having passion and life force, not to be confused with lust. And I want that to be very clear, that radiates out of the lower chakras. Let me think about how to break the energy down in a way that'll be digestible. Spirit, if you can give me some, let's see. Heat. They're saying meditate on heat. Like, see a burning inferno, and now my throat is just like, oh my God, I just want to scream. And I don't have anything to be angry about right now. Like, I just want to scream. So this is what you guys, like, this is the energy. One of my dear friends told me last week, he was like, if you need to let off any steam, he was like, listen, he was like, the next time you go to the pool, go underwater and scream. Or the night he was telling me, he goes to the ocean and goes underwater and just screams. Like, that might be something good to do. If you want to scream in a pillow, do that. Maybe don't do it around people. But it's about learning how to express that fire. Now, when you learn to temper that fire, and it is directly related with your throat and how you speak the truth. When you learn how to temper your fire, you will be able to, in any moment, say what needs to be said, which may be argumentative or very conflict-oriented, and set boundaries and feel safe in your body. That is an example of occupying the power that creates the stability for the magnetism of the desires of your heart, so that you can draw in consistent, I'll call them manifestations, but consistent money, consistent love, consistent success, things that aren't tearing up your soul, things that aren't tearing up your heart, because you have the strength of being able to speak from that position of fire. This is how they're breaking confidence down to me, where it's an internal flame, and it does take time to build that flame, to wield it. Now, on the typical masculine side, I will say that for men, the way that this appears, that flame is typically very, very angry. And then there's a suppression of the anger. It's almost like, they're showing me a tree, like the way a tree is. It's like, I'm patient. Yeah, no problem. And it's just building and building and building and building and building. And then one day it effing snaps. That is the typical, like, collective masculine energy that is wounded in this area of the body. So with the men that, if you resonate with this, there are so many levels of healing and personal development work. I am speaking to the initial personal and spiritual development as you're starting to really work this process. Once you do, it's like easier, and I can speak to many different ways of navigating it. But I'm speaking to the most amount of people right now. So in this scenario, if this resonates with you, for men, it's let me think about how to break this down, because you're not. For women, it's about it's about being angry. It's about tapping in that sacred rage, and learning how to speak the truth and claim the boundaries. In general, these are sweeping collective energies. Okay, for men in general, is a sweeping collective energy. It's about learning how to channel two things. One, about speaking more often without being mean. Because they're showing me it's like this there's like this over passivity, like, I won't let it affect me, I won't let it affect me, I won't let it affect me, and then there's a snap. And then all of that meanness comes out, all of that anger. And it's like learning how to take off bites at a time and say what you need to say with tact. And for again, sweeping collective statements, for men, these breakthroughs are going to be learning how to speak with tact. Don't just say what comes to your mind. For women, saying what comes to your mind is better in general. I am dealing with the different gender dynamics because they are processed very differently energetically. So if you're a woman and you're listening, start saying the shit that's coming to your mind. For men, slow that down in any moment. Even if you need to take a moment away from someone, digest what you are about to just say and say, how can I temper this? Let me forge it just for a moment, 5 minutes even, okay? Like, and just sit with it, or quickly journal and be like, this is what I want to say, blah, 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 blah. You know, men are much quicker to say what they want to say without filtering it. Women go through way too many filters and don't say what needs to be said. Those are the dynamics, okay? So for men, it's about learning how to finesse what they need to say and learn how to say what's working through their solar plexus, working through the heat without hurting someone. The general dynamics for women are that they hurt themselves internally with the heat. The general dynamics for men are they externally produce that heat and they hurt someone. If you look at the heat as a fire, generally speaking, the men are burning and the women are internally burning. Now, I really want to break this down again because the gender dynamics are so beautiful. This could be literally like, if you're a woman, you're doing this. If you're a man, you're doing this. It also could be internal because we carry both both a masculine and feminine component in our psyche, in our bodies, in everything that we do. And I'll just continually explain this for you guys, but the feminine side is the left side of the body for everyone. The masculine side is the right side of the body for everyone. And then you have your chosen gender, whatever your soul came into this body for. What I'm speaking to is if you're, let's say as a woman, your masculine, your personal masculine energy is not comfortable and confident radiating from your body internally with your heat, then you would take on what I'm calling masculine, where you're being mean, where you're just angry shooting off. Okay, I'm just using that as an example so you guys can kind of work through. The genders could be literal, or they could be your internal dialogue within yourself. Like I literally see like a man version of myself, like the masculine version of Emelina and the feminine version of Emelina, and they'd like duke it out. So it's really like learning how to come into balance with that, which I'm going to get more into on the stream as well. Understanding your inner child in that way too. There are feminine components in the inner child, masculine components of the inner child, and understanding how they're working with their own dynamics. So let me circle back because I'm talking about the internal heat, because the heat is the confidence that you're not putting on. It's the confidence that the only word is radiating, but Spirit, can you give me another word? Projection, okay? Not projection from the psychobabble. It's not all psychobabble. Psychology. That's a different term. Energetic projection. Okay, energetic projection happens from here. You're projecting from your solar plexus. That projection is the confidence. It is your energy. It is what you bring to the world. It is your offering of your energy in any moment. You want that offering to be very strong, not from a place of force, but from two things. They're telling me the sun, okay? So just visualize yourself as the sun living within you. This is your confidence, your real confidence. Your I am. This is who you are. There's nothing to try on. This is who you are naturally. There just might be some behavioral patterns, traumatic upbringing, like stuff that we carry around where you have stuffed and dimmed down your internal sun and said, you don't belong. And then you can only like try to think about harnessing the power of the sun and telling it to be quiet and washing it out. Like the power of the sun is huge. Your internal power is huge. At some point that power, like a solar ray, is just gonna like peel out and like hit someone in the back. Like it's just, you can't actually squelch it. So when we try to, and we're like, oh, I'll play meek, oh, I'll be small, I won't take up space, I'll people please, I will just, and then one day it's just like, bam! And you smack somebody upside the head, and that's not always verbal, sometimes that's energetic, and that's how the shadow works through those chakras. In a way that can really hurt people energetically, and you might not even know you're doing it. Again, don't take shame from that if you do resonate with that. I'm just pointing out dynamics. These energy conversations are always so interesting for me to go through because the way that I work through energy is through many different layers, and I don't know where all of you are. So I try to move through the sweeping statements and then show you like, okay, this is a little bit of this level, this layer, this is going to be that next layer, so I'm trying to like Tetris move you all through. In your consciousness to understand that there are many different levels And when I use a word like, you know, the English language just is not very potent for things like this. When I use a word like confidence, like that means a specific thing to a lot of people, and it's not really the right word per se. Like so I'm trying to massage and finesse different layers of the energy in as many streams, as many videos, as many ways as I can to like fill in the gaps over and over and over again until like you're able to connect that energy within yourself. And I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. It's about merging. Your energy is always moving, coming back into yourself, going into your masculine component, coming back into the heart, into the solar plexus, moving into your feminine side, back into the solar plexus and the heart, masculine side. You're constantly moving your energy like this. Okay? If you have a blockage in either side, and a lot of people do, they're working just in one energy. How do I explain this? This is where we have difficulty working with the universe because we stop the natural flow and the current of our energy and how the universe works with us. They always show me the infinity sign. This is the infinity symbol. It's how your energy works. So you're constantly moving in between your own personal flow, masculine, feminine, light, shadow, and then you're working in between your flow of between you and the universe, which is between you and everything outside of you. Okay, and that's depending on what you're working through. You could be the shadow and the outside could be the light, or the outside could be the shadow and then you're the light, and you're constantly working that process. Energy is always moving in cycles and patterns and infinity signs. It's constant alchemy. You're always alchemizing. What you are alchemizing is the question. Like, am I creating more destruction, or am I creating more constructive anything? And what's being said to me right now is that anything are patterns. Am I creating constructive patterns? That's also known as karma. It could be good karma. We will call it patterns. Am I creating constructive patterns? Another way of saying it is, am I creating constructive behaviors? Are my behaviors constructive, or are they destructive? Are they constructive for me, or are they hurting me? Are they constructive for outside of me, or are they hurting people around me? And this is the constant like process we wield through, I'll put it in quotes for the time being, like ascension work, because even that word needs to be broken down a lot. And it's about thinking about my consciousness is just being broken down right now for you guys. This is what quantum work is. All right. It's not a linear, like, this is your manifesting steps, and then all of a sudden your life is perfect, and if anything goes wrong, you must be doing it wrong, and oh my God, you have a block in this chakra, and like, it's like, I feel like people feel like they screw it up all the time, and it's my job to remind you that being human is hard, and it's natural, and you're doing it right. It's just about learning the finesse of like, what are you doing in your mechanics energetically? That's how I look at cosmically. Another way I'll say that for the more human side of it is, what are you doing in your patterns of behavior, your expectations of yourself and others, and what you expect to receive, or what you expect terms to be of engagement? The subconscious has terms for things. These are what soul contracts are. They're terms, like, what I won't receive love unless I do this, this, and this. If I don't give to excess, then I'll receive nothing. Because a lot of people, most people assume love is transactional, because love is really just shown as being transactional in most examples all over the place. That's just an example. So this quantum shifting, and honestly, you guys watching this are all doing it. You're all doing it. It's just like, how much, how consistent, how aware are you of this process? And I'm going to explain this more, but I feel like I went on a very long 30-minute tangent. But that is what this is the process we're working through when you work with me one-on-one. And we really dive very deep into it. I go into your Akashic records. We get a blueprint and a map to know where you are in that process and how I can lead you as a Sherpa. I forget to use that term a lot. I am a Sherpa. I'm helping to Sherpa you through the navigation of what is a very difficult consciousness ascension awakening process, no matter where you are in that process. So anyway, if you're interested in that, I have an 8-week and a 12-week upgrade that I'm offering to you guys that I don't usually do for a very discounted rate. Just send me an email at wearewokeaf@gmail.com, and I will send you all of the details, and you can see if it's a right fit for you, and we can get rocking and rolling with that. So let me cap that aspect of the conversation, and then I'm going to continue just to weave through what this quantum process is, because you're all working through it, and it's just like, where are you in the process, and what's like the next step that you need to hear in order to find that next breakthrough for you. And for a lot of you guys to know, don't discredit the small breakthroughs, because they're not small. That breakthrough could be that you go to sleep tonight and you say, I'm ready for a better life, and you wake up in an incredible mood tomorrow morning. There's no lack of breakthrough there. This is all confidence-based. Again, not something you try on, but something that you express outwardly. The human language does not have it. I'm like, I feel like I have so much I need to say, but I just want to energy it. Send them a transmission. Done. Confidence. How you move through this world is based on your internal I am. It is your internal confidence. Again, not something you wear, something you are. You just are. It doesn't mean you don't have insecurities. It's just how you move. It's your fire, your passion, your will, not from the ego. The ego can support it, but it's your will from the place of your personal power. Your power. You are learning to embody your most powerful self. It never ends. You will always learn. You know, those of the most powerful of us are still learning constantly. Well, oh, this is how we can be a little bit more powerful. Oh, I didn't see how that was a way I was siphoning off my power. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so coming back to the power, I want to talk about, again, bringing it back to the word confidence, it's personal power. Waking up tomorrow morning could be a huge breakthrough for you, because here's the reality, waking up tomorrow morning could be a huge breakthrough for you. Those of you that are working through depression, that's real. Waking up tomorrow morning in a good mood could be a huge breakthrough for you, because everything that you want, the entirety of your life force, absolutely everything, stems back to, I'll try to find as many ways to describe this as I can, how worthy you feel, your personal confidence. When you are confident, and I don't love using the term worthy, but I know that's the term that's thrown around. When you feel powerful from a sacred place, not from a place of what is typically seen as human power, taking it from others, having power over others, it's very hierarchical, money, domination, those sorts of things. Domination with money, domination with sex, that is not the power I'm talking about, okay? That stuff's really destructive, and I just got a confirmation blink light over there. The power that I'm describing is the power of your internal heat that creates everything in your life. When you don't feel radiant, you're not going to be making as much money. You're not going to have great experiences in your relationships, or it'll be sporadic. Everything that we attract comes from how we feel about ourselves. So, how cutthroat is the word coming through. How cutthroat are you about maintaining you feeling good about yourself? Because anything that demeans you, demeans your personal self-worth, demeans your value, either externally, someone demeaning you, disrespecting you, or you internally demeaning yourself, disrespecting yourself, being mean to yourself, in all of the ways that we tend to be mean to ourselves, removes your ability to create the best circumstances for your life. Creating the best circumstances for your life is a code. It's a code. That's like they're showing me a key code, like a key that unlocks an entire download for you. So I would reflect on that statement or write it down because I don't remember what I just said. It's your source. Okay. Source, right? We work with source. We work with the universe. This is your source. Your relationship to your power is your relationship to source. If you think that when you hold power, it will be stolen from you or you'll be dominated, then you will create the expectation. You have created the expectation between you and the universe that when you ask for something that you must be dominated in order to receive, which means you're going to have to give up something really important to you. So then you might not be manifesting very clearly because who the frick wants to be dominated? Like, no, this is not a thing. That's, from the way that I'm describing it, is not healthy, not fun. So what you'll do is you'll siphon off your power and say, I don't want it. I can't have the manifestations, and you go into self-sabotaging behaviors. Your internal source is your relationship with source. The internal relationship is the same as the external relationship. Your relationship with the universe is the same as the relationship within the self. It's the same as the relationship between your masculine and feminine components in polarity, which are the feminine is the allowing, the receiving, the flow, the inspiration, the sweetness. The masculine is the providing, the provider, the protector, the driver, the motivator, the motivation, the will. Which identity are you sitting more in to work with the universe to really create what I'll call a quantum shift, a quantum breakthrough, a new identity where you're getting everything you want and more all the time? Not to say that sometimes you won't get things that you want, because we're constantly working our process, but consistently, as you're learning how to work through both sides of that landscape within yourself. So, you know, when people talk about divine masculine, divine feminine, yes, those can be external relationships, but they're really inside of the self. So something that I've been really working on in myself deeply is like, how do I feel about everything masculine inside of myself? What's my relationship to provision? If I want to be provided for, and you guys need to think about this as the universe, don't think about it as a person. The universe is providing, source is providing. When you ask for something, how do you expect to be provided for? Those terms and conditions are programmed in childhood. They're programmed in past lives. They're programmed in your energy. You can understand all of your past lives, all of your wounding, everything immediately by in any moment. You'll know because it'll come forward within yourself. Be like, all right, this is the thing that I want. The universe is going to provide it to me. Under what conditions? And then whatever the response is, like, that's your wounding pattern. Those are your expectations. They're not all wounded patterns, but a lot of people have this. This is how I'm describing it. And then you just kind of like move through the dynamics, whether it's energy work, whether it's writing, automatic writing, talking to yourself in the mirror. You work through those expectations that are subconscious energetic agreements between how you and your world interact. Source. We can also tackle that by immediately handling our own personal confidence. So like, am I really confident that when I ask for something, I'll receive it? Or do I think certain terms and conditions will step forward that I'll have to like, I don't know, give it up. My light is flashing, so I got to check in with my fairies now. So hold on. they do this to get my attention. They're telling me to go into self-belief. Okay, so, yeah? Yeah. Self-belief and receiving. Okay, so they're telling me, they were like, you were going heavy, you gotta lighten it back up. I was like, okay. The lights are the fairies. I don't know if you can see it, but my light is like flashing on and off. Okay, so when you want to change your reality instantly, this is how I describe it, as opening up portals. Okay, chill with the light. It's driving me crazy. I have these conversations with my guides all the time. I'm like, sometimes you make me anxious. Like, stop it! Can you see this light flashing? Spirit gets my attention, man. I'll be walking down a street. This is for you guys too. Like, pay attention to synchronicities. I'll be walking down a street and literally a light will just boop. And I'm like, wait, did anyone else see that? Like, oh my gosh. Self-belief. Patterns of self-belief. If you can learn what it is to believe in yourself, you'll believe that Source will provide for you. You'll unblock your money problems. You will unblock your love issues. You'll unblock family problems. Like, and it's not to say that these people, people are people. You let them do what they're gonna do. But it's unblocking the patterns of belief in yourself that prevent you from receiving what you need, regardless of what anyone else around you is doing, because they are not your providers. Source is your provider. Even if you're being provided for by humans, which we all are. The exchange of money like is necessary for humans, but it's not relying on the humans. It's that the humans are the vessels for God, for source to move through and deliver to you what you need through self-belief. Okay, you're really, what? Excuse me. Okay, but what are you guys saying to me? They're saying, this is funny. They're like, drive it home. All right, you guys, we're going hard now. Enough with the back and forth. Enough. I wonder, am I worthy? Is this going to work out for me? Enough. No more. Drive it home. Anything that feels like a bad thought is a bad thought. Tell it to fuck off, all right? Anything that doesn't feel confident isn't confident. Be done with it. Just be done with it. No more self-pity, no more self-sabotage. If you do have these patterns, you can unravel them and unwrap them really, really quickly by untangling your energy every moment that you possibly can with a habit and a pattern. You're a new person now. You want a quantum breakthrough? You want to fucking walk through a new portal and become what you are meant to become, which is whatever that vision of your dream is that you have in your mind, then you need to immediately stop producing negative habits and patterns that keep you in personal self-conflict. They are ridiculous. They are a nightmare. Everyone will tell you to stay in them. It's very normal to like go to any level of human anything, whether you have other mentors, other sponsors, other friends and family that are like, no, let me keep you in your little pattern of misconduct where you're conflicted because I'm profiting from your energy. If you stay there, then I'm now of value to you. It's a contorted thing. Humans do it. Don't hate them. Like, they all do it. It's fine. It's whatever. It's up to us to just be able to say, enough is enough. All right? If it feels like a shitty thought, it is. If it feels bad in my body, it is. So stop doing it. And that isn't something that just immediately stops. It is a moment-to-moment habitual change. You have to change the patterns of your behavior. If you want to have a breakthrough, you cannot be the same person as you were yesterday and have a breakthrough today. It can't exist. It doesn't exist. So you're gonna have to get over who you've been. You're gonna have to let go of ideas. You're gonna have to let go of stories of who you are and how things go for you and how hard things have been. And no. And it's not discrediting it. I tell people all the time, like, I've had a hard life. I don't say it for me as much as I say it to bridge the gap for things, because people think that I have things very, very easy, and I do. But I created it, because I'm taking you through the process. You have to become a new person. You have to become a new creative expression. You do that through creating immediate, constant change in your behavioral patterns, literally, your lifestyle patterns, literally. You want a new body? You want to feel hot as hell? Don't just do a diet, make a fucking lifestyle change. You're going to have to increase movement. You're going to have to change eating habits. You're going to have to maybe change places or locations you go to. For someone like me, a quick example of something I've been working through constantly is I can be overdriven, overstimulated, over masculinized in myself. One of the biggest habits I had to cut out is caffeine. And I'm not, I'm constantly doing a back and forth with coffee, okay? But it's like that can't be my core routine anymore, because that's the lifestyle shift I need to make in order to facilitate a new set of behavioral patterns for myself that are much healthier for me, but cannot live in the same identity as the hyper-stimulated version of me. They're in direct conflict. So whenever you feel in your gut, and you'll know in any moment, like if you're in conflict, it's not working for you. And all you have to do is squash out the negativity, like just punch it. They're showing me just like, be like, bam, like get out. And you can even literally do that, literally. Like where you start, what are some other patterns we get? Self-pity, man. Self-pity. And again, no shame to anyone. I go through this shit too. I'm just conscious of it, so I'm trying to explain the process. It's like when you get into self-pity, we all do it. Probably everybody does it, maybe even once a day. You get into some little self-pity, it don't work out for me. And you might not be doing that very externally. You might be real practiced in your method acting externally, but your inner child might be doing that. So then there's this constant dialogue. That inner child will get your attention through like a pang. Like you'll feel it in your body, even if you're acting really well, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. And in any of these moments, and it's really just the collection of moments. It's not about being perfect. There's no perfectionism here, okay? There's no like, oh my God, I have to do all this, and if I don't do it right, I'm gonna manifest the bad stuff. Like, oh my God, no bad man is coming. like chill. No bad woman is gonna take it all away from you. Chill. What it is about, let's say you're in self-pity 50% of the day. That would be high, but who knows? I don't know. I'm just random example. It's about getting it to 20%. It's about getting it to 10%. How do you do that? Well, you work at the moment-to-moment, day-by-day process. Whenever you get to that space, changing it. And whatever change you make is great. Just get out of it. The point is that you're reprogramming your neural pathways in your mind and your heart and in your body to say, when this pattern happens, when this part of my personality, of my identity comes up, I am now creating a pattern interruption. That could be done with an immediate change. I forget what the psychological term is, where you literally just do the opposite thing. Or do anything. Anything. Get up. Like, oh my gosh, replace it with anything, do anything. It's a pattern interruption, okay? Oh my God, what is it called? Counteraction, something like that. The more you create a pattern interruption, the more you break the bonds that are literally in your mind, in your brain, in your neural pathways. What's the phrase? Neurons that fire together, wire together. What you're doing is creating a new neural net, okay? And this is how this builds your subconscious, which is building your identity. So if you want, let me explain the neural net. When you have one thought, it's a self-pity thought, it then moves to an escalated thought, an escalated thought, and an escalated thought. These are energies that live in the frequency of the body, and you're carrying those energies in your body and in your heart, which comes through as wounding in the heart or pain in the body. In order to break those neural pathways, you can try to do it mentally. We do it mentally, but they're saying like pay attention to physically what's going on because you'll catch it. And just create a physical change, any change. So if you have a self-sabotaging pity behavior when you wake up in the morning and you're accustomed to being in your bed, I haven't read the book, but what they're pulling forward is the Mel Robbins, what is it, the 5-second rule? It's like, do anything. Just get up and walk out the front door with no agenda, come back in the front door. Just anything. Just create a physical pattern interruption when you have the experience of the emotion so that you can train the neural pathways to stop what is going to be the next domino effect of neural network triggers that are automatic, subconscious, and very fast. That's the autopilot. You're breaking down the automatic system that created your previous identity, which is your identity yesterday, not today. Today, you're new, okay? This is how you get your breakthrough. It's lots of collections of moments. And what you're looking to do is create a new set of habits mentally, emotionally, and physically, where you become a new, I'd say person, but it's not. We are just a bag of, this is how I say, I'm like, I'm just a fleshy bag of behaviors and patterns. If we took Emelina and just broke her down, what is Emelina? Well, that's my name. But it comes down to all of these patterns, all of these beliefs, and all of these expectations, and all these habits. So, I mean, if you look at it like a computer program, if I want to rewrite the program and I want to rewrite Emelina, fucking, I don't know what I'm at now. I was going to say 2.0, but I'm not at a 2.0. I don't know, like 36,742. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever your version you're on of yourself. That was cute because I'm 36. That's what came through. It was 36-year-old and then like 42nd of the year. I'm like, am I doing a new shift every week? I'm like, yeah. Something like that. Well, it would be a little less. Anyway, it's like if you were looking at the code of the computer program of who you are, and you're like, okay, well, who do I want to become? Well, my highest potential includes and they are your top values in your heart space, not from the place of a wounded heart, but from the place of a heart filled with love. When you are filled with love, what do you want to be? That is your personal loving expression. That is the new computer code. And then you go, okay, which habits, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, need to be broken and need to be changed? And all of that is done through pattern reconditioning, behavioral reconditioning, neurolinguistic programming, any way you want to go about it. I'm just breaking down like the energetics and explaining them. Whatever you guys want to do in that could be behavioral therapy, could be tapping. I love tapping. Could be seeing someone like me and working through the energetics. Could be journaling every day. Like you're learning how to create a new version of yourself. You are going to move differently in that new version of yourself than you did in the past. So you can't fall back on bad habits. And I'm not saying like, if you have a bad habit, have shame. Like, no, it's about, again, it's about the collective of you. Ow. Oh my gosh, my legs are sore. Where's the majority of your energy? Progress is just moving the needle forward. It's getting it forward. You want more progress? We'll try to move the needle more forward. But understand that when you change a lot of different habits at one time, then your identity starts to like go, who am I? And that can create its own version of challenge. So, not to confuse you guys, but the point is to take a pace that is sustainable for you. Some people that I've taken through in big breakthrough work personally can take 2 years. Some can do it in a couple months. There's different levels of breakthroughs. It depends on what you're looking to change. Are you changing something about yourself that requires a huge foundational change? Which a lot of you are, I'm going to be honest. Or are you doing something, well, it depends on your goals, I guess. Or are you doing something that could have an immediate shift in like 4 to 12 weeks? It depends on which part of your consciousness you're working with. And if I'm going to be honest now, what's streaming through is that we are all working with big foundational changes and what else would I call them? Faster ones, all at the same time. And we're constantly shifting in between them because we're looking to raise our foundation, create a more stable foundation rooted in patterns of behavior that are very supportive for ourselves and our inner child and inner children and everyone around us. And then we're also like working towards smaller goals, like that you can see progress in 4 to 6 weeks, that you can see progress in 8 to 12 weeks, that you can see progress in 6 months. And then the more foundational ones might take a little bit longer, but you're kind of working on all of it simultaneously and juggling between them. And when you start to see really, really big, like, I don't know how else to call it, breakthrough work, like just huge manifestations that become stable, it's because you've done a long method of working on the foundation heavily to feel safe in the new foundation of what is your new home, your new personality, your new inner child, feeling safe in all ways with a beautiful mother and a wonderful father. Those are internal. There's nothing to do with the people outside of you. My life is so funny, you guys. I'm just like, if people knew what I like, I'm just like, okay, here's like little Emmy. I see her in my heart, and I'm like, okay, what does she need right now? And I'm like, okay, let's bring in Emelina. Like, the mother's gonna come out. Like, what does she need? I like talk to myself like this, and then I bring out like what I see is like the father version of me, and I can feel into those different energies, and I pull them forward for myself, and I reparent myself. All of you that have worked with me, like, know that I do this in a very subtle way with all of my clients, because it's like we just need those voices to come forward and set the stability for the safety for the things that we work through on a day-to-day basis. Whatever you're working through today, mentally, emotionally, physically, is what you need to be working on today. Because sometimes, you know, what people do in personal development work is they'll be like, this is the trauma pattern, this is the wounding, I have to heal all of this shit from my life. And it's like, not necessarily. You just need to heal whatever the hell's in the way right now. That's it. The microcosm is the macrocosm. It all heals together. It's all quantum. It's all entangled. So whatever's coming up for you today, if you heal that thing today, if you work through it today, if you give it consciousness and love and support today, it heals the entirety of whatever wounding you went through in your childhood. It heals the entirety of any trauma you've been through. It heals the entirety of your past lives at the soul level. Like, it's really, really magical. All of this energy work, the downloads have just been coming in left and right for me the last week. Like, all of this energy work stems down to a very practical, like, what are your behavioral patterns? And do you expect those behavioral patterns to get you where you want to go? And you'll know based on whether or not you are where you want to be. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll give you guys, like, I guess, a fast example. I don't know how deep I'll go into this because I need to do more reflection on it. But for me, what's been processing through for me is I'm like, who am I shifting into? I'll feel into her. I think about her. And then I go, what behaviors, what patterns need to change? Who do I need to become? And I'm like, oh God, I need to be so much more bold. Like, and it's not even whether or not I give a fuck about anything, what anyone thinks about me. It's not that anymore. I feel like I've moved through that. Those were some wounding patterns in the past. Now it's just like, no, I just take every shot. You do the Wayne Gretzky quote is like, you miss every shot you don't take. And I'm literally reprogramming myself to take every shot. I'm like, I don't really care to sit back anymore and plan and strategize. I'm just like, no, Emelina, this version, is taking every shot. Every shot. I will not miss a shot. And if I do, I was meant to miss it. You know, or I needed a down day or to relax or take a nap. But it's like, even that though is a shot. Well, I don't know. The version of me that I'm cultivating is like, go, 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 go. My autopilot is do it. The answer is yes. And if it's a no, it's a clear no, and I'm not even thinking about it. Essentially I'm scanning my environment at all times now for what is a yes. And I'm only saying yes. And that's not to say I'm not saying no to things, it's that my focus isn't there. So if it's a no, I've already automatically filtered it out. I've already said no to someone. I've already set a boundary. I don't care. I'm not paying attention to it. I just don't care. And all of my focus is on what's a yes. What's a go? What's a bold move? What's a bold thing to say? How can I cultivate more of that bold action into myself as an automatic behavior? And a question you might want to ask yourself is, what can I no longer afford to do or think? And I don't usually like using the word afford, but that is the word that is coming forward. Because money and time are synonymous. My guides say it to me all the time. And that's not to say you need money for time. It's that money and love are synonymous as well. I might go into that. Not for everyone, but that's like a truth. The idea that you need money to get time is a fallacy. So if you feel like you need money, you actually might just need to make a bold action right now. Because what you need to do is collapse time. And what you think you need to do is get money so that you can buy yourself time. But actually what you need to do is take a bold action right now. And actually that is the solved thing for most money issues, is a combination of bold action and love. I will be getting into this much further on many more video live streams and things, because I've been getting just pummeled in the best of ways with these downloads around money and love, and money and time. Anyway, the point of them streaming that through and bringing that up is do you have lots of time to spare? Like, you don't need to get to your goals. You don't need to shift quickly. We all need to shift quickly. Are you kidding me? Like, thanks, Dylan. It's like, what are you gonna waste time? I'm not into wasting time. Also, another download's coming through. Do you know how much time distractions cost you? A lot. Time and money are synonymous. So if you're costing yourself time, you're costing yourself money. Can you afford to continue your previous patterns of behavior? This is not to seed anything negative into you guys either. They're just like my guides, my fairies and everything. We're just coming in loud, like, drive it home, Emelina, because clearly you guys need a stronger message. Sometimes I'll go in a softer way of talking about things because I never want to like demean or create shame, but I clearly, a bunch of you watching this need to hear it in a more direct way so that you can confront that part of yourself. I frequently talk to myself this way. I'm like, Emelina, can you afford that distraction? Not meaning like if there's a distraction you want and you're gonna have pleasure and enjoy yourself, like whatever, that's fine, that's great. It's not like eliminate all distractions. Like there's nothing you can do, you can't screw up. It's like this isn't perfectionism. It's just very frequently, my guides have really been testing me on this recently, is that the question becomes the consciousness in the moment of seeing discernment between actions, behaviors, conversations, whatever you're doing, and saying, is that an opportunity or is that a distraction? And if it's a distraction, do I want to give that distraction time, which is to give it money? It's your energy. Your energy is your currency. It is your personal current. It is your health. That health is what creates money. It is how you work with your quantum manifesting. It's your spiritual energy that is pulling the money in at the physical level to you. If you have a money problem, it is a spiritual problem, which is your energy. Where are you sending your energy? What is a distraction? Are you pouring into distractions? Because distractions are real good at getting your attention. And do you actually want to send that distraction energy? Now, what's beautiful, what I want to soften around this is that your guides, your internal guide and your spirit guides are going to be very flexible with you. They're bringing this through it in a way through me to be direct and also to be soft and say, there's a lot of grace. You don't have to get this perfect. You just have to start moving with it and becoming aware that these things are happening so that you can make better choices during your day, which creates better karma. Choices stack. Again, it's about like, where's the majority of you? Where are the majority of your choices? Where are the majority of your patterns? Where's the majority of your resonance, your vibrational frequency, as we say? Comes down to the majority of your energy and your patterns. What are you thinking most of the time? How are you acting most of the time? What are you expecting most of the time? How many distractions are you giving into? How much self-pity are you giving time? How much bold action are you taking, and is it proportional or disproportional to where you want to be in life? Like this is becoming a very practical conversation, but it really is ones and zeros. It is a computer program. Now, you be soft with yourself and understanding that you're giving grace. We're gonna screw up. There's no way to get it perfect. You are perfect. The process of awakening to all of this is perfect. So don't flog yourself, because I'm saying this specifically because in all of these manifestation groups, communities, the way that humans think in such black and white terms. It's not like, oh my God, I have to eliminate all distractions. I have to remove all substances. I can't have any addiction whatsoever. I have to it's like whoa, relax. It's just about taking the next step. So the next time a distraction comes up, which will happen tomorrow or tonight, it happens all the time. It's just having the compassion of yourself and saying, is that something I want to engage in? And if I do, okay, do it. It's about progress. It's about getting yourself a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer without being mean to yourself. Because, you know why I'm saying this? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of personal growth, if you look at anything standard personal growth on the internet, and all the personal growth coaches are masculine. Not all of them, but there's a very masculine approach to it. And that masculine approach is like, how do I explain this? If you're not taking a cold shower every morning, like if you're not doing a cold plunge every morning and you miss a single day, like you are a bad person. You can't have a single negative thought. It's like it's so rigid. It creates a nightmare. It's like a new wounding pattern. And the new wounding pattern is perfectionism shown in a reverse way, where it's like if you are not actively practicing all of these things and doing them perfectly every single day, then you're going to fail. And like that's like if we have a pendulum swing, that's the opposite side of the pendulum swing, and it's not any better than engaging in the distractions. It's actually just as destructive, because then what happens, this is gonna hit for someone in this crowd that needs to hear this. What's going to happen is that those patterns then become addictions in the mind and in the body, the way that you would think of an addiction like a smoking habit or something. Like the patterns become the addiction. The cold plunges can become the addiction. Are they healthier addictions? Sure. But it's still like, it has to do with how you perceive your own energy and where you derive your power. So I don't know why I'm using the cold plunge example. I think there's just a lot of masculine entrepreneurs out there that are just like, you have to cold plunge, it has to be hard. It has to be hard, and you have to do this. It's like, it could be soft too. It could be fun too. And girl loves a good cold plunge, by the way. Like, I'm a pro. I can 15-minute cold plunge. Like, I'm good with it. I'm good. I like it. So I can speak to it because the point is, it's like, what are you giving your power away to? God, I don't know why this cold plunge example is coming up. It just is. I'll just trust. It's like, did you give your power away to the cold plunge so you don't believe that you can have access to all of your entitled energy for the day without the cold plunge? Or do you believe that you're not worthy of your own love and success for yourself because you didn't get yourself into a stimulated state? Which is what cold plunges do, which can be really beautiful, but it depends on how are you using the energy. We have a society that is very over masculinized in our success energy. It's like very overstimulated. This is something that I've really had to work through, because when you're in entrepreneurship culture, which I've been in for 15 years, like it's overstimulated, and you don't get approval from other entrepreneurs or other execs, anything, without also matching that energy. I don't want to call out any names. I wish I could to give you some examples, but I don't want to bring weird energy into that. So it's like, think about any masculine, very popular entrepreneur. It's like, hustle. We're going to chase people around. I have 5-minute phone calls. I got 20-minute phone calls. Don't waste my time for a minute or I'm going to be a jerk to you. It's so rigid. And that is the culture that then women try to conform into as well. And those of you that are business women will understand this. It's like, then the women are like, I'm a badass boss. I'm a bitch. I'm going to do this the right way. Oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing. I'm a boss. Don't waste my time. I don't know, and I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I'll probably get, I got some examples coming in. But it's just it's like, whoa, you're a woman acting like a man. Stop. There is an entire side of manifesting of high levels of success and high net worth and self-value that come from soft, that come from feminine, that come from self-care, that come from believing in yourself, that come from taking a fucking nap because you needed it, that come from not being hyper stimulated, that come from slowing the fuck down. You can't, if you're in constant stimulation, you can't possibly receive. You're just, you're constantly chasing. There's a balance to everything, all of these energies. If you're gonna be pushing, driving, moving, chasing, then you have to also have an equal proportion sitting back, allowing, receiving, inspiration, play. You can't go one without the other. Like they both got to be present. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just went on a train wreck of energy. Like energetically, I feel like I embodied that so much that now I'm just like, what? I think I was gonna make dinner. That's what's on my mind. I had a good farmer's market situation today, and I've got, oh my God, you guys. I might shoot some videos coming up on like, I'm reacclimating to my love for food. I had a really damaged relationship with food for a long time. And this was one of my themes for the week. This is clearly what needs to come through now. This is how you slow down. You work through your relationship with food. What's your relationship with food, and how can you explore your love through food? Okay, your love with a lover, your love with your family, your love with your kids, your love with anyone around you that you love. You can explore all of those dynamics at the subtle level with your personal relationship with your love for food. And I'm using these words on purpose. Explore your love for food. What do you love? Why? How do you love? Why? What do you express? Why? Like, fill it in. I don't know. Be with it. And when I think about food, I'm thinking about medicine versus poison. Okay, so that is an energy, right? Like I'm a shaman, I'm always working with energy. There's energy medicine, and then there's poison. When we work with food, and this is the mind too, there's love and there's fear-based thoughts. With confidence, it's like aggressive hurting power, or it's internal, I don't know, I don't want to go into that one. Anyway, there's an internal mechanism. When we're looking at food, it's like food filled with love, food with nutrition, food filled with, oh, Stephanie, I gotta read your, oh, food change. Yeah, I would love to, oh my gosh, I need to talk about food. I'm exploring love through food now. I used to just be much more utilitarian. And now I'm just like, oh my God, I get to love through food. I get to love myself through food. I get to love other people through food. This didn't exist in my upbringing in this way. So I didn't have an example. I didn't know what it was. So I'm just learning this now, and I'm like really exploring it. I'm really loving it. So medicine versus poison. Let me think. It's about understanding like what's just very simply, does this feel good in my body? Does my body like this? Is this helping my body? Is it giving me energy? Food can give you energy or take energy away, literally at the cellular level. Everything you consume, you pull into your body, is either taking energy to break down, digest, and do something with, eliminate, what have you, or it's actually in the process of your body digesting it, is actually giving back to your body more than it takes. Those subtle dynamics you'll be able to feel in your body on what feels good and what doesn't. How do you feel 3 hours after you eat something? I forgot about talking about this stuff. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to open up this whole topic on these live streams. Maybe I'll do a food stream every week where I talk about food and cook. The reason why I'm paleo, let me think back. I'm such a health nut, you guys. I've been a health nut since I was like 12. Okay, so it's definitely who I am. But I went paleo. Really, I went keto. Not what you guys will think of as standard keto diet, like a real keto diet. Look up Stephanie Person if you're interested in that. She's got the most like OG, very healthy keto diet. Really incredible work she does. And let me think. So I went paleo because I started realizing that when I ate rice or corn, which was such a stable aspect of my diet for a long time, that I wouldn't be able to think. My brain would get sluggish. I would get depressed. And that depression would last like 3 days. And then I was able to nail it down to the food. Brain fog. And it's so funny when you're a business owner, like when you run I've been running my own show for a long time. And when people would ask me, this is how I wasn't ever a drinker to begin with, but this is also like when people ask me like, oh, like, why aren't you drinking? I was like, I can't afford to drink. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, You got time for the shit that alcohol takes out of your body? Like, I don't have time. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm sorry. I don't have corporate pay my bills. Like, I would say this stuff in my 20s. I would say it to people because they'd be like, come out with us. And I'd be like, no, because what you're asking me to do is take a week off of work. Like, because you might be able to go to a gig and like sit back and you don't have to bring all of your energy into that job. But I'm not only any entrepreneur is this way. I'm not only responsible for performing the job, I'm responsible for getting the jobs. I'm responsible for everything. Like, so no, I'm not gonna do that. And maybe some people can, I'm not into it. Because in my mind, and this also is true, alcohol steals so much energy from the body. So it's like, well, I mean, you can do it if you want, but like, what's the exchange rate of that? For me, corn and rice, the exchange rate was, I would feel like shit for days. And I have always had a zero tolerance policy for feeling like shit as a result of eating a food. I refuse to engage with it. I don't like it. I'm like, I want to enjoy things. If it makes me feel bad, it's not good. Like, I'm not okay with it. So I only eat things that make me feel good. That's the medicine. The poison in this case is like, what are the things that hurt you in some way? And can you learn to finesse like what feels a little bit better, what doesn't, and kind of just mold what feels better into your day. Well, I like when I feel this way. When I eat this, I don't feel this way. When I eat this, I do feel this way. I like massaging love into the food. I know some people do it, some people don't. I'm just learning it more, just how much, because I get the love from the food that comes out of the ground because Gaia has given the love to the food. Like, Divine Mother, Source, has given the love into the food, and then I receive that, so I don't have to add or change anything, and I didn't realize I did that. I was explaining that in the last video. Now I'm realizing, like, yes, I can get the nutrient value, the energetic value, and the love from the earth, and then I can create an entire new layer on that really programs love, which is energy. It's chi, it's life force, it's time into the food that we then ingest, which then produces more energy for the body in a really healthy way through the slowing down of the process of eating, of consumption. Hi, Mark. Oh my God, I need to look at these too, because I feel like I've seen so many of you that I need to say hi to in here. So anyway, so what they were explaining is like the process of like slowing down and enjoying yourself as a place of receiving and changing your identity from that way, or working with your identity in that way. Hi, Laura. Is allowing yourself to receive food as medicine and slowing down to create more love in your food, more energy, sharing food, like, I don't know, all the food I'm going to be talking about food more. It's coming. All the food things. I got lots to say on it. And with that, I'm going to go make a nectarine salsa. Thanks you guys for being with me. I feel like I just exerted so much energy. I literally feel like I worked out. So that was a ton of energy, like, moving through. I hope that was helpful. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Drop a like, sub, all the things. And if you want to work with me and do a deep dive, 8 to 12 weeks in Summer Quantum Breakthrough, now is the time. Send me an email. I will send you the details, and we can figure out if it's a good fit for you. Which I think you will know when you'll either, you'll know it's right for you, or you'll be like, it's not for me. Probably if you email me, it will be for you. But I'm happy to talk you through that and answer any questions. I would love to have you guys in it, and I would love to facilitate, and it would be such an honor to walk you through your breakthrough process and your identity shifting in a healthy, loving, supportive way. So that's what I got. Okay, let me look through the comments. Who else is in here? Rai. Thank you. Daniel, good evening. Stephanie, so good to see you too. Thank you. I really needed a mom kick in the butt talk. That's what she's here for, I guess. Oh my God, hilarious. Dylan, deep end jump, hangman. The changing perspective, is that what you're saying? Jumping in the deep end. Yeah, Spirit is saying like jump in the deep end. Like, let's figure this stuff out now, you know? Oh, okay, that was it. Okay, I saw all of you guys. Great. Perfect. And I've got a bunch of you in here. I literally, these things fuel me. I get so much love from doing these streams, like of just sharing my expertise and sharing my energy in this way. It's just such a vibrant process. I really, really like it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Hit me up any questions in the comments as well. I'll fill in what I can. The big theme, I'd say, is portal jumping. I feel like I say that almost every week though. I think I just gave you the next step explanation on how to take the next step in this constant process of what is constant breakthroughs. And honoring all of the breakthroughs wherever you are, juggling your creating a new foundation and creating results that you can see quickly. The big foundational things, you won't see results on those quickly, but you juggle between both. You like work on your foundation and your breakthrough and your identity, and you work on things that will create results for you so that you can see progress, so that you can stay in your game and keep doing your process, because we need to see progress in order to keep going. It's important. So that's what I got for you. Thank you for joining me, you guys. Love you, adore you, enjoy your week, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Alrighty, bye.